let's continue our discussion of the touch releases that help our students play with artistic personality. They're listening intently to the sound that they create at the instrument so that it really matches the interpretation that they need for the particular piece. So in this particular piece, Minuet in C Major by Beethoven, I'm looking at the MTNA webinar handout, page 16. This piece is also in Succeeding with the Masters, Classical Era, Volume 2, one of my favorite books for students with just amazing gems in that book for students to learn and treasure. And let's take a look at when the students will use a kickoff touch release in this particular piece. My goodness, that was fun. That's actually feeling a little bit better. I dropped, I rolled, and then dropped, and I rolled at the end. All right, so a kickoff touch release. Did you notice how many times I played a chord with my wrist, my forearm, and my hand as one? And all of the energy and power is coming from my upper arm. So we could have students put their 1 and 5 fingers around a pencil. This is what an octave pretty much feels like for a pianist. Okay, let's just make sure that the tips aren't out of the lead. We don't want them to be pointy. And you could have the students practice this kickoff touch release going forward into the keys. They'll feel the energy power coming from their upper arm. They'll notice that their wrist is in line with their forearm and the hand, and let's make sure that they're not bracing, squeezing, and locking with their fingers. We're just letting the fingers actually be pretty released when they're doing this touch release. Another image that's really good is the idea of a water skier. A water skier is on their skis and they're just skimming over the water. That's a perfect kickoff touch release image. Another one is in the Winter Olympics when we see those fantastic long jump skiers, right? They're on top of that apparatus, they're on their skis, and then they go down, right? And then they're in air, right? As they go to the longest jump they ever would want to do with their body in complete alignment of the skis. And then in Succeeding at the Piano, students learn the kickoff touch release as well when they're younger. And they learn it by seeing that little icon. It says kickoff, and it's a little shoe and a foot kicking a ball. So we want to make sure that when the students use their wrists and their forearms, they use them in tandem together. So at the beginning of this piece, not easy because you have two different techniques going on. You have a rotation gesture and you also have a dropping motion and then a rolling motion. Whoa. And then we have 3 kickoffs in a row. Okay, you could do either 2 kickoffs in a row, or you could make the phrase taper if you'd like, with a roll. And you'll notice in this particular handout page, I said to do the rotation, but have the student slant their hand a little bit more towards the left. There you go. Kickoff. And then, again, kickoffs. Now that one, we could use another kickoff, but listen to this. It actually sounds better as a push-off. It's more explosive. With 3 kickoffs in a row, it's actually pretty hard for most people to play this big reach of a chord, so it's a lot easier if we use a push-off. I should do that again. piece. It's going to feel better if the student drops, rolls, drop, roll. Oh, that feels better. Let's take a look at two more pieces to review this same concept of a kickoff touch release to create terrific artistic personality.